There are some films that don't just tell a story but attempt to explore the invisible layers of the human mind, and beyond your consciousness. The Beginning from 2024 steps into that space with a quiet confidence that slowly unfolds into something thought-provoking and immersive. From the very first frame, the movie establishes an atmosphere that feels both grounded and mysterious, as if you are being invited to question not only what is happening on screen but also the nature of perception itself. It doesn't rush into action or loud drama. Instead, it carefully builds a world where thoughts, memories, and reality seem to blend into one another, creating a viewing experience that feels almost meditative at times. The story revolves around a central character who appears to be living an ordinary life on the surface, yet beneath that simplicity lies a deep psychological struggle. The film gradually reveals that the protagonist is dealing with fragmented memories and an evolving sense of identity, which becomes the core of the narrative. Rather than presenting everything in a straightforward manner, the screenplay chooses to unfold events in layers, often shifting between what feels like reality and what could be subconscious projections. This approach might feel slow for some viewers, but for those who enjoy reflective storytelling, it becomes one of the film's strongest aspects. The direction of the film plays a crucial role in shaping its tone and impact. The director demonstrates a clear vision, focusing more on mood and philosophical depth than conventional storytelling techniques. There is a noticeable restraint in how scenes are handled. Nothing feels overly dramatized or exaggerated. Instead, emotions are allowed to breathe, giving the audience time to absorb the significance of each moment. The director's ability to maintain this balance between subtlety and engagement is commendable, especially in a genre that often risks becoming either too abstract or too predictable. One of the standout elements of the film is its visual storytelling. The cinematography uses soft lighting, reflective surfaces, and carefully composed frames to mirror the internal state of the characters. There are moments where the visuals alone convey more than dialogue ever could, such as scenes where the protagonist is shown in isolation, surrounded by blurred environments that symbolize confusion or detachment. The use of color is also noteworthy, with cooler tones dominating the scenes that represent uncertainty, while warmer hues appear during moments of clarity or emotional connection. The performances in the film add significant depth to the narrative. The main lead delivers a performance that feels genuine and introspective, capturing the complexity of a character who is constantly questioning their own reality. There is a quiet intensity in the portrayal, where even small expressions and subtle gestures carry meaning. Instead of relying on dramatic outbursts, the actor uses restraint to communicate inner conflict, making the character feel relatable and human. Supporting actors also contribute effectively, each bringing a distinct presence that complements the main storyline. Some characters seem to act as anchors to reality, while others feel more symbolic, almost like representations of different aspects of the protagonist's mind. The interactions between these characters are layered, often leaving room for interpretation rather than offering clear answers. This ambiguity adds to the film's overall theme of exploring consciousness and perception. The screenplay deserves appreciation for its willingness to take risks. It doesn't follow a traditional linear structure, and at times, it deliberately blurs the boundaries between different timelines or states of mind. This can be challenging for viewers who prefer straightforward narratives, but it also makes the film more engaging for those who enjoy piecing together clues and forming their own interpretations. The dialogues are minimal yet impactful, often leaning towards philosophical reflections rather than direct explanations. Another important aspect of the film is its sound design and background score. The music is subtle, often blending seamlessly with ambient sounds to create an immersive atmosphere. Instead of overpowering the scenes, the score enhances the emotional undertones, guiding the audience through moments of tension, introspection, and revelation. There are instances where silence is used effectively, allowing the weight of a scene to settle without distraction. As the film progresses, it begins to explore deeper themes such as identity, memory, and the nature of reality. It raises questions about how much of our lives are shaped by our conscious decisions and how much is influenced by subconscious processes that we barely understand. The narrative suggests that the mind is not a fixed entity but a dynamic space where experiences, emotions, and perceptions constantly interact and evolve. The pacing of the film is deliberately slow, which might not appeal to everyone, but it serves a purpose. By taking its time, the movie allows viewers to fully immerse themselves in its world and engage with its ideas. Each scene feels like a piece of a larger puzzle, and as the story unfolds, these pieces gradually come together to form a cohesive picture, though not necessarily a complete one. The film respects the audience's intelligence, trusting them to interpret and connect the dots. One of the most intriguing aspects of Beyond Your Consciousness, The Beginning, is how it handles its conclusion. Rather than providing a clear and definitive ending, it leaves certain elements open to interpretation. This might be frustrating for some viewers, but it also aligns perfectly with the film's central theme. Just as consciousness itself is complex and often ambiguous, the ending reflects that same uncertainty, encouraging viewers to think beyond what is shown on screen. From a technical perspective, the film is well crafted. The editing is smooth, despite the nonlinear structure, and transitions between scenes are handled with care. There are moments where visual and auditory elements come together beautifully, creating sequences that feel almost dreamlike. These moments stand out not just for their aesthetic appeal but also for how effectively they convey the film's underlying message. In terms of character development, the film takes a subtle approach. Instead of relying on explicit backstories or dramatic arcs, it reveals character traits and motivations through actions and interactions. This method requires attention from the audience, but it also makes the characters feel more authentic. They are not defined by a single trait or moment, instead, they evolve gradually, much like real people do. The philosophical undertones of the film are perhaps its most defining feature. It doesn't attempt to provide answers but rather poses questions that linger long after the film ends. What is reality? How do we define ourselves? To what extent can we trust our own perceptions? These are not new questions, but the way the film presents them feels fresh and engaging. It invites viewers to reflect on their own experiences and consider the possibility that there might be more to consciousness than what we typically acknowledge. At the same time, the film remains accessible enough for a general audience. While it does delve into complex ideas, it doesn't become overly abstract or difficult to follow. There is a balance between depth and clarity, allowing viewers to engage with the story at their own level. Whether someone chooses to interpret it as a psychological drama or a philosophical exploration, the film offers enough substance to support both perspectives. The director's vision is evident throughout the film, from its narrative structure to its visual and auditory elements. There is a sense of cohesion that ties everything together, making the film feel like a unified piece of art rather than a collection of separate elements. This consistency is particularly important in a film that deals with abstract themes, as it helps maintain a clear sense of direction. The lead actor's performance deserves special mention for carrying the emotional weight of the film. It is not an easy role, given the complexity of the character and the subtlety required in the portrayal. Yet, the actor manages to deliver a performance that feels both nuanced and compelling. There are moments of vulnerability, confusion, and clarity, all conveyed with a level of authenticity that draws the audience in. Supporting performances, while not as prominent, are equally important in shaping the narrative. Each character adds a layer to the story, whether by challenging the protagonist's perceptions or reinforcing certain ideas. The chemistry between the actors feels natural, contributing to the overall believability of the film. As a viewing experience, Beyond Your Consciousness, The Beginning is not about quick entertainment or instant gratification. It requires patience and attention, but it rewards those who are willing to engage with its themes. It is the kind of film that stays with you, prompting you to revisit certain scenes and reconsider your interpretation. In conclusion, the film stands out for its thoughtful approach to storytelling and its willingness to explore complex ideas without simplifying them. It combines strong direction, compelling performances, and effective technical execution to create a film that is both engaging and introspective. While it may not appeal to everyone, particularly those looking for fast-paced or conventional narratives, it offers a unique experience for viewers who appreciate depth and subtlety in cinema. The director's vision, combined with the lead actor's performance, ensures that the film leaves a lasting impression, making it a noteworthy addition to contemporary psychological and philosophical cinema. This movie is available on YouTube free.